Pay attention. We're gonna teach you something real special today. This is two coins with my boy Wally, then Ronnie, wherever you're at, we're at. Showing two sides of the same coin. Let me know what y'all think. 2 Coins. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today.
Yo, welcome back to the 2 Coin Podcast. It's your boy Ronnie.
And I'm Waleed, the other side of the coin. Today's episode is brought to you by Bayonet and Black Horse Golf once again.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that golf course kicked my ass. Before we get into that, man, we got 2 very special guests with us today. You know what I mean? Homies, roomies, all that for life. Nick and Clay, how y'all doing today?
We're doing good. How
are you? You know. Had to get you guys on the pod one time.
Yeah,
happy to be here. I'm so excited.
First of all, hey, how'd you guys enjoy the day, first of all?
Oh, it was so fun. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just drove the golf cart.
That shit is hella fun by
that was
itself.
it.
Oh, it was great day. You know, we had our struggles in the beginning, but we came through at the end.
I had my struggles all the way through.
I was about to say, it was like, I kind of started getting a feel for it after like the 9th hole, after I'd already fucked up like 20 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting a solid couple hits
after that
now.
first 9, we hit a stride definitely. We could tell the game was a lot better after the first 9, so that was good. But
Must be nice for you guys.
But for you, Ryan, your first time really ever playing an 18-hole and really like your first time golfing.
This was my first time on a course.
Dude,
bro.
your progress throughout the day was crazy because you were at the end, you were hitting balls great, and like it was good. I mean, that was hard. I can't remember how hard my first time was, and that was good.
Baby steps.
I'm coming for the PGA Tour.
Oh, facts, man. Hey, Steph, I'm coming for your title. You feel me? But nah, man, I think it was cool. It was exhausting, bro. I was not expecting it to be.
It's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
I mean, you were running back and forth.
You feel? I mean, honestly, that was my ass was hitting it all the way to one side. I gotta
running
just
into the
jet
golf
back.
cart.
Yeah. A lot of it was unnecessary. Like, a lot of it, like, I'd be running because I'd hit a shot so fucking bad, and then I'd go chasing my ball, thinking, like, all right, I'm taking forever. These people are catching up to me.
Right.
But, you know, it is what it is.
Hey, to be honest with you, like, there was not a lot of people, really pressing up behind us like that. You know what I mean?
We got lucky. I mean, especially the people, we let people pass through, and, like, they were cool. Like, we didn't even let them pass through, but we did because there were 2 people.
I was about to say, even then, I think it was just him that was playing.
It was
Looked like
just
his
him
girl
that
was
was
So
just...
playing.
they were
Yeah.
super chill, but it was good we let them through because it was just that one guy playing, but... We got lucky. It wasn't like super packed when we were out there. Like, wasn't a bunch of people. We had the kids coming up to us at the end, but it wasn't like we were taking.
There were?
Yeah, we had a group of 4 kids behind us, but they were walking. So luckily,
I was about to say, to be honest, I didn't even notice them. Like, I noticed them for a second when that whole group was there at the bottom of, like, what was it, hole number 13 we was on?
Yeah.
But then once we all made the fucking hole, once we all finished that one, I didn't even see them behind us after that. You know what I mean?
They probably walked away because they didn't have the cart. It was probably going to take them how long to get through the whole thing.
I don't get how people do that without a cart, bro.
Dude, I would have been dead.
You
I don't even think I would have gone.
Sure.
I mean, luckily they had push carts, so there's little things you can push with it.
Is that something that you buy, or is that something that you keep with yourself?
So when I go to
It's
Pleasanton, we have the fairgrounds, which is a 9-hole, but you can get them. They're just like little like trolleys almost that you just put your golf bag on, you push them around, just so you don't have them around your shoulder the whole day.
Damn, okay.
But like they had those, but still, man,
still
that's so
though,
much
like that's a lot of walking. Yeah.
Think of those par 5s we did, the fucking 500-yard holes.
And think about how much of the cart path goes uphill and like around the loop and.
Bro, even outside of that, think about all those times that I was hitting them like way off the course and hopping on the cart trying to find my ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would have given up if I did not have that cart.
Me and Wally were talking about that. It's like, dude, if you're going 18, I don't really care how much more I'm paying. I'm gonna get a cart.
Yeah, like if it's $50
and
a
the
cart,
whole experience, like, bro, then think about it. If you want to drink, you're lugging around your drinks all day in your
bro.
Having somewhere to put your phone and the shit in your pockets.
Exactly.
Like,
you don't have to worry about it. It's
nice.
just if you're going 18, you gotta get a cart at the end of the day.
I ain't gonna lie, that was fun though. Whipping in that at first, it seemed like I was over here hesitating.
Yeah, because
But-
it makes it when you're going down or you're like turning, it makes it feel like the whole thing's just gonna topple over.
And then when you leave, when you park the cart and then you get in your car and leave the course,
dude,
it makes driving so much easier. The shit's like so much lighter. Yeah.
like I didn't have to press hard on the brake.
Yeah.
The wheel loose as hell. And
I'm an amazing driver.
Man, bro. Nah, it was fun though, man. I actually enjoyed the day. We definitely got to do that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys ever have an extra spot, I'll just be the 4th.
Hey, we'll run it back again.
Sure.
But nah, man. So, how y'all been though, man? I feel like it's been forever since we seen y'all,
Yeah.
especially with COVID and whatnot.
No. I mean, shit, last time I was down here was when for Wally's birthday when we came down here.
Yeah, that was like, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Wow.
So I was
Damn near
looking
6
forward to
months.
this. I was looking forward to this
Does not
all
feel
weekend.
like that long.
Yeah.
But we've been good, dude. We've just been... I mean, we're both teaching from home and everything like that, so our days like kind of just blend together.
How's the teaching experience been?
It's fine, man. Like,
I mean, I feel like our experiences are different though.
Super different.
I was about to say, did both of y'all have teaching experience prior to COVID?
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all could see the little difference in like.
Yeah, because I was I'm elementary.
Okay.
But my focus was more in like the early grades, like kinder first. But then now I'm with 5th grade virtually, so it's a really weird experience having like my whole program and student teaching focused around virtual learning, but it does get me into that mindset of making like modifications and accommodations to my lesson plans.
Okay.
Which normally I would have trouble with in person.
You say it's easier like dealing with kids through virtual or like in person?
Oh, definitely easier. Like, I don't think I've had to do any behavioral thing. I mean, aside from like one student, but like I don't have to like manage students like in a group. Or if they're talking too much, I can be like, hit the mute button, stay on mute, and that's it.
You can shut them up really quick.
I feel like for virtual, it's like, okay, from a teacher's point of view, it's like there's only so much I can control, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're like in the classroom physically face to face with them, it's like, especially from the parents, you're expected to do so much.
There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So like if you're virtual, it's just like, I mean, shit, man. I'm like teaching them through a computer. What do you expect me to do?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's just super different too for like me, right? I'm still going through my first couple of years, so I get like this last month or so, I've had observations. When you're like a first couple of year teacher, you still have to get observed. So like I'll have my VP come in to some of my classes and observing, and she's looking at like, what do you do? And I had that last year. So last year was like, I did hella fun activities. Like for one of my geometry classes, we went down the football field. We like used these, they're called kilometers, these things that basically measure the angle of what you're looking at.
Oh shit, okay, yeah.
So like we used geometry to figure out, and it was a sick lesson. But now when she comes in, I'm like, I can't really do anything. Like,
fun.
Wait, what do you mean? So your VP will log into the Zoom?
Yeah, so she'll come in, and I'll see her name pop up, and she'll sit there and watch and stuff, and then we'll talk at the end of it, and like she'll comment on like what I was doing, this and that.
Yeah.
But it's just super hard because like the first couple of weeks when I was teaching, how we do math nowadays, you really try to put kids in groups, and you kind of want them to go and learn,
Like
and then you'll come in there
student-led.
to help them out. You kind of facilitate what they're doing.
Yeah.
But like, it's super hard. The first couple of weeks, I was putting kids in breakout rooms, but when these kids don't have any connection with their classmates because they're not in class.
Yeah.
Every time I hop in these breakout rooms, they're all muted with their videos off because they don't want to talk to each other because they don't know each other at all. And it's just
And
like...
I feel like with your grade, though, that's really hard because I do a lot of, like, that online. Like, I do a lot of, like, community building. Like, our morning meetings are focused on getting to know each other. And some of them still are. But, again, that's the lower grade. And I spend, like, 4 hours with them.
And you have time to do that. I only have an hour a day with, 3 classes per day. So it's like...
Yeah.
We're so far behind what we're doing in person that I barely even have time to even try to like build some stuff.
Yeah,
it's just
you
like
have people get to
we're
know each other
behind,
like
bro.
that.
We gotta get on material. Like we have things
Right.
that next year, especially in math, it's like you're going geometry kids, you're going to algebra 2. We need to go over the stuff because you're gonna need this next year. So as much as I want
It's
to
like fuck getting to know you. Do you know the
that's
material?
that's the best part about teaching is like getting to know the kids and like
those
the
connections
funny
make
comments
the
they have.
That's probably the
and stuff.
most rewarding part.
I was about to say though,
exactly.
but like what you guys had pointed out before, that seems like it's super interesting about the fact that these kids are not getting to know each other. I feel like that was something huge when we was
That's
that
huge.
age.
Oh,
you
for
know what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
We don't talk about how much it fucks with like the development and like the growth.
their social
of
emotional
definitely.
learning
Especially
is
for
like,
kids
Yeah.
the ones you teach.
100%.
And even for high school though, like even if I'm missing sophomore, junior year of high school, that
Oh,
still
it's
affects me
huge.
down the line.
Yeah.
I feel that, but
Exactly.
think about it this way. Imagine how old are the kids?
They're
you
10.
They're 10. You know what I mean? Imagine
Yeah,
like
that's-
10 not being in the classroom.
That's developmental phase,
And
like right
the thing
there.
that's
Yeah.
at least good for Clarissa is like when they're that young, they're still way more kind
They're
of...
still resilient.
They're out there. Well, they're resilient, but they're still at least
resilient,
out there. Like they want to talk to each other and
They
groups
try.
and stuff and like that. With the
Yeah.
high schoolers, just like
I'm too cool
bro,
to get
like,
to know.
whatever,
Yeah.
Mr. M puts me in breakout rooms. I'm just gonna turn my camera off and do my work.
I'm gonna sit in the back with my hoodie on.
Well, exactly. So
And I
Yeah.
have room
I'm
to
gonna just
like,
be in my room, go back to bed.
literally, dude. And
well, I feel like I have room to be like silly and put myself out there to make them more comfortable
Yeah.
with, turning their camera on or like speaking.
Nick
'Cause-
over here trying to crack a joke. Who the fuck's this cornball?
Well, in the mornings, I'll be playing music. I'm like, good morning, everybody. And then
Hey.
he's like, hey, good morning, everyone. All right, let's get
to
started.
our work, like-
And I'm
Y'all in like two
cracking
different
up.
rooms.
Yeah.
His class is like, yo, what's going on next door, Mr. Mendoza?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I guess it depends on the nature of the job.
Yeah.
But I found that working from home, like now that I'm more used to it as like a standard structure, is like more stressful than actually going to the office.
Really?
Because like I still have a setup where I go into the office once a week, so I get to like be able to compare like both work
Yeah.
settings. And I feel like when I'm home, and working, I'm definitely more stressed out than when I'm in the office.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
I would feel the opposite.
Well,
like,
I mean, because
if you miss an email, then you miss everything. Like in
Exactly, like,
person,
it's
it's
all
like
email.
you can talk to people, you can do this and that. So I'm
Yeah.
talking to my kids. They're, hey, Mr. M, I need to turn this in late. Okay, fine. I write it down. But it's like I get 100 emails a day, whether it's from my district or a kid or someone else.
Yeah.
And then it's like if I miss one email that some kid's like, hey, I need to turn this in late and I don't see it, it's just stressful because then I have to like go through my emails, make sure I have everyone accounted for at that point. If someone misses class one day, like all that stuff. It's just a little bit more.
You should have them title their emails with like late.
Yeah,
like some shit that gets your
Yeah.
attention right off.
But
the bat.
at the end of the day, like it's
still
high school,
kids.
it's high
I was
school
about to
kids.
say,
It's
like-
high school kids.
Yeah.
They're
Think about when we was in high school, how many times the teacher would make an announcement and how many people actually follow through with some shit
Exactly.
like
That's
that.
true.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's definitely easier because I only work basically half days now. We do block schedule, so I have like half my classes on Monday and half my classes on Tuesday, which is why we're so far behind because I'm only meeting up with my classes 2 times a week basically. I'm only meeting up 2 times a week for an hour and a half with them, so we have to fit a bunch of material inside that time. And at the same time, it's like
It's like college pace.
It's like I can't.
That's what I get the vibe of like what's going on with this online learning.
You can't
at this point.
overload the kids. Like I'm not gonna sit there and actually teach an hour and a half of material because they would never retain it. I would.
Oh, especially through Zoom?
It'd be words against the wall, and so like you have to really plan out. Okay, let's just go over this today and make sure you guys got that, and then we'll talk next time. But like.
And
It's
you
just
have to
really
remember,
weird.
there's kids that can't learn online.
Oh,
like, there's some of
definitely.
them that are not able to concentrate the way that they would in the classroom.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to take that into consideration, and that's where you can do. Well, it depends with you,
Yeah.
but I do a lot of like interactive, like online games or like lessons.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a little hard for you to do
Yeah.
shit
I'm
like
about to say,
that.
you want to hear a funny story in terms of like this whole Zoom stuff. So we had this kid who he comes to class, but he doesn't really do a lot in one of my classes. But I got an email from one of his teachers saying, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but this student made a loop of a 2-minute video of him sitting in his room looking like he's watching the thing. And so, I don't know how he did it.
And has it uploaded to his camera?
It's
Yeah,
uploaded
yeah, yeah.
to his Zoom. And I was like, I'm not even mad. That's just super impressive that you
Bro, it's like the amount of time you spent doing that, you could have just been paying attention.
And the other
In
teachers
class.
in the email said the same thing. They're like, honestly, I want to be mad, but that's pretty impressive that the kid came up with that. And like, and that I was dying laughing.
How'd they find out about it?
So one teacher said he was looking at his Zoom and he looked at it. I think he asked him a question and he didn't respond, and then he kept looking at his Zoom and he found the loop. He saw when like he kept like looking this way.
He saw the
He
repetition.
saw the
Yeah.
repetition, and he said the same thing. He's like, honestly, I'm kind of impressed. Like it's a pretty good idea, but yeah.
I'll let him
but-
slide. Maybe the class wasn't a waste of his time. This kid's kind of smart.
Well, I have some kids that are like, you could see them looking at the screen, but like they're doing something else.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Other
tons of
tabs
times I'll
and
be
stuff,
like,
yeah.
hello, and
Kids
they're
over
just
here
like,
hitting the
they're like
ball.
smiling. They're like smiling or laughing at something on mute. I'm like, oh, they're not paying attention.
They
All
got-
right,
they
next
got-
person.
they
Who
got
wants
something.
to go?
Most of them are probably on their phones, like scrolling through Twitter or some shit.
Right.
And it's so funny the differences of like etiquette. Like I remember the first couple of weeks, a kid came into our Zoom class, and this is 8:30 in the morning, right? So we probably just roll out of bed. He doesn't have a shirt on, and I'm like, bro, we're in class. You cannot have your
He's
shirt
like,
off.
no, I'm not. I'm at home.
I know, he's like, oh, I'm in bed. I'm like, you cannot just have your shirt off in class, man. Like, this is the equivalent of you being in my class and having your shirt off. This is not how this works.
Oh my
I'm like, please put a
gosh.
shirt on. And we were laughing about it, but I'm like, you can't do that, man. Like,
I was about to say, bro, the funniest thing that I seen since like this whole Zoom thing happened was like, so I guess it was like it looked like a group of like maybe like a 5th grade class, and the teacher is just talking, and then one of the kids' moms hops out the shower, so she's just butt naked in the back of the screen.
I saw that one, yeah.
So then literally,
It was a black kid, right?
yeah. So that teacher's like, "Hey, yo, can you turn your camera off? Turn your camera off." And the mom turns around, just dips out the screen, like, "Yo, I'm talking titties out and all that, bro."
Oh,
That's
man.
I
humiliating.
can't lie, it's so fucked up because I've seen so many videos of people bombing into other classes, like joining, like dudes that
Oh,
don't go
like
to
log-
school
damn.
and join into them and like.
Wait, how the fuck would they even be able to do
So
that?
like,
Well, that's-
all you have to do is get a link at the end of the day. 'Cause
Yeah,
Well,
Zoom link.
usually how it works
True
is
that.
like,
Well,
I
not
get-
anymore.
I can just send that shit to my weed plug.
I get 30 kids, right? So I have 30 kids in my weight room, and usually you just press admit all because you're like, okay, there's 30 kids in there, I'm gonna let all of them in. But if one person sneaks in there, I never check my list of all my kids. I'm like, oh, there's 34 people here. Okay, let
They
all
know
these
that
guys
shit.
in. and then they'll come in and they'll do some effed up shit.
Have you had a couple people?
I haven't had any of them. Luckily enough.
I haven't either.
Yeah,
because we
but-
have a district. Like, if you don't have a district email,
Yeah, luckily,
then
yeah.
you can't get into the Zoom.
Damn. Okay.
But I've seen some videos of people going on there like. This one dude goes on there and he's like fucking whipping out his nutsack back and forth. And the teacher's like, please turn off your video. He's just whipping it back and forth.
Oh, bro.
I'm like, bro, that's so
Just
bad.
swinging it
That's hella nasty. Ew.
like a pendulum.
Like a pendulum.
I'm like, bro.
That's gotta be. Oh my
I'm
god.
like, if I was in college, the amount of trolling we could do going into random classes and shit.
I was about to say I could see that happening more with motherfuckers in high school because
Right,
they're the ones to
exactly.
share the link, and you know what I mean. I
Yeah.
couldn't really see it with.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I mean, you'll
With the
be
kids.
surprised. My fifth graders are very tech savvy. Like I've
Oh,
learned
yeah.
a lot from them.
No, I feel that, but I just
Yeah.
don't see
Oh,
fifth
yeah.
graders being like, "Hey,
Oh,
take
yeah.
my Zoom link and do."
Right.
If
Oh my
anything,
God, no.
you know what I
They
mean.
would get
It's
in
high schoolers
so
that would
much
be doing
trouble.
it.
Yeah, high schoolers be doing
Right.
fuck shit.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna send you my link, man. Just fucking show your ass on it for the first 30
Exactly,
seconds.
right? Like,
That's so bad.
and it's so awkward because so many of these teachers are like 40 and older, and
So they
don't-
can't track
don't
this
have,
shit.
and they don't have great techno. They're not tech
Yeah.
savvy, so like they get in these moments. Like for me, it's like easy. I just mute them automatically, turn off the video.
Yeah.
If you're in high school and you are in quarantine, like you wouldn't do some shit like that for fun.
bro, I would definitely.
100%.
I would definitely.
No.
Bro. What?
Oh, I would be doing
Bored as hell in class. What?
I'd be for sure joining other people's Zooms and fucking
Lord.
around and shit.
Like yeah.
Penis. Playing the penis game on Zoom.
Pop up to the Zoom like yeah.
Yeah, luckily I haven't had a kid hit a bong in my video yet, but I guarantee there's gonna be some kid near the end of the
Jeez.
year. It'll be interesting how 420 goes on a school day if there's any kids smoking and
Wait,
shit.
in high school?
Yeah, it's high
420
school.
high school,
Yeah.
bro. What the fuck?
I mean,
Seniors
I guess
and
I
stuff?
never.
Oh yeah. It's good.
I feel like
teachers
motherfuckers
every
started
year.
smoking weed
I'm
in
not-
ninth grade.
Right.
Like,
Oh no.
I knew motherfuckers smoking
Middle
in like
school,
I was about to
yeah,
say
middle
6th,
school.
7th grade, boxing up the bathrooms and shit.
Yeah, I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
a lot of people that started smoking in middle
You know what's
school.
wild, bro? Like
I didn't know anybody.
I ain't
at
gonna,
least
I ain't gonna say
didn't.
bruh's name. The shit that shocked me, man. This was like the youngest that I ever seen somebody do some hardcore drugs, bro. This motherfucker was shooting up heroin in fucking 6th grade in our
What?
bathroom.
How do you even get your
What?
hands on heroin when you're a 6? Like you really have to have some.
That
finesse.
shit was wild as fuck. The dude ended up getting expelled, obviously, but fucking
You
when
really
I
have to
like
have
it wasn't
some
even about
finesse.
that, bro. Like what you doing injecting that shit
Right?
in 6th grade?
In 6th grade, like goddamn.
Oh my gosh!
Like
Wow.
I never got that. I was just like, damn, that shit crazy, bro.
That
Well,
drug in
you
general
know,
was just weird. And drinking
COVID
something-
eliminates all that shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully.
There was
It
times.
depends on your situation.
There was
Right,
times
the
last year where a kid
accessibility.
would come up in my room. He's usually my freshman, my honors geometry students, and they'd be like, "Someone's vaping in the bathroom." Because that's the big thing nowadays. Is
That's
vaping and like someone's
crazy.
drooling
Like
in
the
the
drool,
bathroom.
yeah.
And I'm like, I guess I'll call someone. I don't know really what to do. Like they're probably gone at this point. but-
Like, is it really that big of a deal?
See, that shit's wild, bro, because when we was growing up, it was like, if you gonna take a hit, you gonna take this hit, you gotta get the fuck out, because that stank is for real.
Exactly.
You gotta be
Yeah.
smart about it.
The
Like,
fact that motherfuckers can literally go hit a corner, rip the
Dude.
fuck out their pen, blow it out, just keep
Exactly.
walking to class.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all,
And then
bro,
you got a
I
teacher
never,
on-
I never had the balls to do any like weed or
Oh,
nothing
no,
in school.
yeah.
Like no.
I hated coming to school. I came to school high one
Yeah, I
time,
couldn't do that.
and I
I knew my
hated it.
boundaries.
I just hated that shit in general. Like going anywhere with a bunch of random people. If I'm getting high, I don't want to go to school and like do that. I did it like once, I think, when we were seniors, and it's because we woke up hella early one day. We took like edibles. We went to Club Sport, which is like our gym over there, and we
Lord.
played basketball for a couple hours. Then went to school. So at that point, I wasn't like super high or anything. I was coming down at that point. But even then, I hated it. I'm like, I don't want to be in class hella high, like sitting there, like what enjoyment.
I ain't gonna lie, bro, I ain't gonna lie. My first period for all 4 of my years, 2 of them was PE, and then one of them was like one of my history classes with a chill ass dude. His name was Mr. Blaisdell.
Right.
So like half of us was coming in lit as fuck, like to begin with. So it was just like
Showing up Blaze to Mr. Blaze.
That was literally the fucking joke, bro. Everybody walk, hey, yeah, Mr. Blaisdell, do you blaze? and,
joke
keep,
writes itself.
and keep in mind, this motherfucker been teaching at our school for 30 years, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So in 30 years, how many times did he hear that
He's
joke?
like, ha ha ha, no.
Hey, but not real shit. I feel like it really just depends on what class you had. Cause it's like I knew motherfuckers that had like AP fucking stats or some shit. They not getting high as fuck for their
Right,
first class.
yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I used to fucking go lit as fuck just for PE. What? Being high as fuck hooping, like
What do they call those state exams that you gotta take?
Oh,
You gotta fill out the
STAR?
Scantrons.
Oh,
Yeah, STAR.
We
Oh,
have
dude,
STAR.
my
Well,
ju-
no, those are the assessments. But then they have. Well, it depends on.
So like,
What about for high school? What do they call it?
Well, it depends. Like usually for high
I think it was
school,
the stars.
They have
The
Like
star.
a
They
star.
do
Something.
PSATs, which is just practice for the
Nah,
SATs.
what he's talking, it's a
There
star
was a
exam.
standardized
Stars,
exam.
like,
Every year,
yeah.
like we
So
fill up in the bubbles
like
and
those
shit.
exams, you don't have to take it senior year. So like it was my junior year, and I'm like, this is the last time I ever got to take it. These things never fucking mattered. I showed up to that thing like just zooted, and I fucking got it like a far below average or whatever the failing score was.
Yeah.
And it was like I managed to intercept that shit in the mail before my parents got it, and yeah, I was right. Didn't end up mattering. So.
Bro, it was bro. The
You're
amount,
not wrong.
the amount of people that I know that literally just drew pictures or fucking like try to shade their name using the bubbles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just said,
Right.
"Fuck this test. This shit ain't doing
Exactly.
nothing." And these the same people that you know what I mean. Like they want to tell us that the shit matters.
Well,
Motherfuckers
before-
graduated from NYU.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers graduated from USC. You know what I mean?
exactly,
Well, before those star testing, well, it depends on what district, but there was this like law, with the act, the No Child Left Behind Act.
Yeah.
It was if you have to do a standardized test, or schools have to administer them, and depending on how high your school tested, then you would get more money, and how low you would get less.
See,
That shit was
okay.
So it messes up people in lower income communities because they don't have enough
As always.
resources.
Damn.
That shit was all George
And
W. Bush.
then,
It was,
yes,
it
it
was-
was.
George
Stupid ass
Bush.
shit.
And
Like
Obama was the one that got rid of it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it really messes up lower income communities because
That's so fucking fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up how like ironic of a name that law is, No Child Left Behind,
Yeah.
but yet you're leaving behind all
Oh,
the
dude,
children in the hood.
Our
Oh, yeah.
high school
Like
used
what?
to score so terribly on those.
right.
Like we just
They
be
thought
awful.
it would be incentives, but at the same, they just ended up it bit people in the ass.
Yeah, because
with that.
I'm not.
It
fucking
bit the
studying
people
for
they
that
were
shit.
trying to fucking help
Exactly.
in the ass. Yeah, nah.
But it's like to base testing and like base
Funding.
base funding off of how well a school does isn't fair for like schools
Oh,
that
definitely
really
not.
need resources, and there's a lot of schools in California that really need those resources.
Yeah, and those test results don't determine
No,
whether or
they're
not
If
they
anything,
deserve.
I feel like it should be like opposite.
Opposite, right.
Like
Opposite.
if you are scoring low, then obviously there
You need
needs
more
to be
help.
help
There needs to be more
allocated
hands,
to those
yeah.
areas. But they looked at it differently.
Republicans always fuck everything up.
Man, hey, but speaking of school though, bro, like, man, we lived together in 4 different places. Was it 4 or 3?
Yeah, we had Sunset, we had 994, and we
And
had
Surgeon. Yeah, so
But then we also were in dorms, so we were
Oh,
with
yeah.
each other.
I was
every
about to
day.
say, man,
Yeah.
like, so during our whole time in school, like we like all of us have had like, you know what I mean, a long living history together out of all that. What would you guys say was like your favorite place to live at and why?
My favorite place to
I
live
loved 994.
So it's so different. Yeah, so it's so
that
different.
was a spot.
Sherman was like, for where we were at in our college career, because most of us were on our way out, Sherman was the perfect spot because we weren't throwing parties anymore. It
Yeah.
was our best place in terms of like we had
Kept
a
us
nice
kinda low-key.
basement, we had a cool
Yeah.
low key spot. But in terms of like the whole college experience, 9 and 4 was fucking lit. Like we had a
Yeah.
duplex, we had a fat backyard where we threw hella parties and shit.
Yeah.
Like that was the ultimate college experience. Like it's like in those movies where there's 100 people in your backyard. Like we had that shit. We literally had
Yeah.
multiple
That
parties
shit's
where there's
crazy to think about, bro.
crazy amount of people in our backyard. And Sunset was sick too.
That was the bulk of the college experience. Was
Nine-
Do you
994
remember
was
that
sick.
party that you guys threw at Sunset, and it was like every single
Oh,
floor
all
had
floor?
people
Oh, it
in
was-
them.
But you know what's wild? That was damn near happening every
Every
other
time.
fucking weekend.
all the neighbors would be down
Our
and
whole
just like have people
backyard was
flooding in and out.
packed. The fucking
Yeah.
front yard.
No,
people
no,
lined up.
she's talking about Sunset.
Oh, Sunset.
Yeah.
Like with the all the
Crazy.
three, the whole
We had
apartment
all
complex.
3 fucking floors packed with people.
That shit
That was epic.
go ahead.
I remember the first time we threw one and then the cops came. And
Yeah.
then-
Remember the
Oh,
bottle? Remember the kids were throwing bottles
Yes.
off the fucking... Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
We had to sweep it up outside and shit. The cops made us sweep
Hey,
it
they
up.
was
I
mad.
just remember being just schmammered out there talking to the
Oh,
cops.
so good.
Bro, tell me why. So that same night, right? I had one of my coworkers who was supposed to come through. Bro ended up calling me up. I guess I didn't. Obviously, I'm not picking up the fucking phone. There's
Yeah,
like,
right.
you know, what I mean, we got a whole ass
Party,
function
yeah.
happening up there. I gave you the Addy, pull up. I go see him the next day. I'm like, yo, did you come through? He was like, nah, bro, I couldn't even get in at the very from the very bottom of the entrance.
Yep.
And to be honest, bro, like I was off of maybe a little over an eighth of shrooms, and I just didn't want to deal with that. I'm like, bro, imagine walking up to a scene like that just off shrooms.
oh my gosh.
Right.
I feel
am
like
going
your
home.
anxiety would just.
God.
And you just got off of work.
That's
Like
the last place I would have been.
Oh my god.
I was dying, bro. I'm like, man, I would have tripped out if I just seen that many people and I'm shroomed and just hit a corner. Like, what?
But honestly, bro, I'd say 994 was the best spot
Yeah.
just off the fact that that was the only place we lived at for consecutive years or for more than
Yeah.
1 year.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just the peak of our college experience. Like we were all sophomore, juniors, so like we had we had the friend group, we had a bunch of people we knew, and it was just a perfect time to throw parties, and like it fucking worked. Like,
And
we
it
got
was
that
in
shit
a
down to
good
T.
like position too when the tailgates would happen too. You guys
Yeah.
weren't
Oh,
too
we were hella
far.
close,
could
yeah,
walk
we were
Yeah,
right
you guys
Yeah.
were super close to the football
We actually had a couple
field.
pre-games right before the tailgates.
Yeah.
Yep. Bruh, you know what's crazy though? What you was talking about, like closeness. That's the one thing I didn't realize how close Sunset was as far as getting to campus,
Oh yeah.
doing shit on campus. Because it always felt like we're all the way on the side of campus, but in reality, we're literally 2 streets
It's
next
basically
to it.
like you're on campus when you live at Sunset because you're like right behind CVB.
How many
But see,
classes?
we never saw it that way because all of us
Exactly,
was on Joe West or fucking on the
was
bricks.
right
You know what I
there.
mean?
How many
Spoiled.
classes I skipped because of 994 because there was just a freaking mob down there.
Shit was like a 10-minute walk just to
Oh
get to
my
the tip
God.
of campus.
You used to bike ride until that one time your bike got
My
stolen.
bike got stolen in my backyard. Yeah. It was bound to happen. I knew it was going to happen at one point. But yeah, so many classes.
Oh,
I
man.
Hey,
skipped
can we
because
talk
of
about the audacity of the homeless people in our
Oh
backyard?
my God, dude.
Like, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
7 in the morning, going through our trash and stuff.
But
like,
see, and to give y'all context, bro, it's not even just going through your trash that's on the fucking driveway or something. We're talking about dipping through the backyard where
And
our
our gates,
gates
through
close,
our-
all that.
Trespassing.
yeah.
Or
well,
that one
Literally.
time we came through the gate and we saw this guy on the side of the house and Nick goes, who are you? He goes, do you live here?
I'm like, yeah, I live here.
Bro, even if you didn't live
He
here,
asked me, who are you? I said, I fucking live here, dude. What the fuck you talking to?
You trying to fight?
Who the fuck are you? Don't give me the who are you. I got keys to this place, bro.
Who are you means get the fuck out of here.
the audacity, bro.
Literally,
Hey,
bro.
y'all remember that lady across, like right next to us that was just always bitching about
Call the cops and shit.
about the fucking
Right to our
trash and
left,
shit? Yeah.
Oh
dude.
yeah, the one in the yellow house.
Like how you
fuck
going?
that lady.
How are you literally about to call and complain about our trash, which is on the other side
Literally, like,
of where the fuck you
well,
at? Just
that's just people that have a
and
lot
then
of time.
I think
in
her
their
car got.
literally.
they have a ton
literally.
of time.
I think her car got broken into one time, and she was like, I remember.
No,
like,
it wasn't her car. Remember that night that fucking Phil's car got smacked because that one dude was driving, and then she came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that shit. Yeah.
That was crazy. We were up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
All we hear is
sitting-
ding, ding,
sitting,
ding.
Like, what the fuck?
I-
Phil got hella lucky, or no. Yeah, because Phil was parked, but his car didn't get hit.
It was
And-
like it was the
and
car right
so it
behind him.
was
Remember the
car
dude,
right-
the truck? That's who it was, whose axles got fucked
Dude,
up.
he was so drunk, bro.
Yeah, Phil's car.
Bro,
it
you know
could
that
take hits.
you remember that dude, like the dude that was driving when we pulled out, we're like trying to talk to him. He almost
Yeah.
fucking drove you over.
Yeah, bro. Because we're talking. We're
Yeah,
like,
because
bro, what
Nick's like, bro,
happened?
stop it. I'm like, bro, just move out.
Yeah, we should have took the keys out of the car, but we didn't really know what was going on. That was
Yeah.
3 in the freaking morning.
And you don't know
Oh
what
yeah, he
he's
just dips out and he
capable
can't
of.
drive because his tires all fucked up. And he
Literally,
goes
one
down.
shit's popped and then
It's like
literally
dragging down.
Did he try to get away?
Yeah, he was driving. All you hear the way down.
Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure we saw the cops go
God.
by because
They got his license
They
plate.
had to find him
Yeah.
because
But even outside
there's
of-
a fat
Yeah,
tire.
I was about to
there's
say.
a fat tire track.
Not
that
even a
leads-
tire, bro. That's from the metal
Yeah,
scraping.
exactly.
So
Man
that
left
shit.
hella evidence.
He left
He got lucky
breadcrumbs.
because if he hit Phil's car, that dude was about to get punked on sight right there.
But even
So-
outside that, he's lucky he didn't fucking kill nobody.
Oh, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
one, you don't got insurance.
Oh,
2,
yeah.
you're fucking just did a hit and run. And 3, you just injured somebody. Oh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
fucked. You already
Come on.
fucked.
Phil's
Yeah.
car, he wouldn't have even noticed. Like, I could take a hammer to Phil's side of the car and just
Well-
smack it, and he would notice.
Phil would have filled up his car with diesel or something.
Oh, don't say that.
It was cheaper, bro.
Don't
It
say
was
that.
cheaper.
bro.
That was the
Not the diesel.
and that was the worst moment. The worst thing because it was so fucking hilarious.
Hey,
and I
hey,
felt so bad.
Was it,
not
hey,
at the
it
same
was
time.
y'all two DJing him, right?
It was me,
No,
DJ, and
I
Phil.
wasn't there.
Oh,
It was
okay,
supposed
okay.
to be just a quick trip to 7-Eleven, and I ended up going home on a fucking tow truck because he put diesel in his fucking car on our way back home.
Bro, it was
because he needed to
cheaper.
fill
Oh
up.
my
He's like,
God.
oh, the diesel is cheaper, and there's a whole
Oh
separate
my-
thing for it. So let me just fill up my car with diesel. He filled
I'm
up the
like,
car
bro,
with diesel,
even I.
and then it didn't start. Oh wow, big shocker.
like, bro,
when you and DJ pulled in and fucking told this to us.
I was dying.
Oh my
bro.
God, bro.
It took everything in me not to die laughing
That's
in the
what
tow
I'm
truck.
saying. It was
and Phil was just
like,
seething.
Phil
He was
came
hella
in,
mad.
yeah.
Like, I'm like, who are you mad at?
I'm so
He
sorry,
told me the story,
Phil.
and I tried my heart. I'm like, all I wanted to do was just laugh my ass off. I'm like, bro, I don't care.
Love you, Phil.
I
For
don't
real,
care.
we gonna get
I'm
you
so
on. We gonna get you on one of
sorry.
these, bro.
I don't care how little of car knowledge you have. It's like an unspoken about thing. Like it's not even something that has to be said. If you go, oh, can I fill up my car with diesel? Do you have a diesel car? No. Well, then you can't fill it up with diesel. That's how these things work. Like
I don't know.
Diesel
Had
truck.
I not heard about
Right,
that
that's what
story,
I'm thinking.
you would
had I
never
not,
do it.
but
You would never have the ball.
I would have never known that
Yeah.
though. I would have never
It's something
known.
that doesn't need to be
Legit,
said.
like
Do you have a diesel car? It's a yes or no answer. If it's no, then you can't put diesel in your car.
Man was looking at the pump trying to decide.
Do I want to save?
What's the worst that can happen?
Literally, how much money did you save? $2 maybe by doing that, and then you had to pay $500 to get it flooded or whatever. Like,
Hey, I'm not.
You have to pay $300 to get the shit towed from the 7-Eleven. You know, like where like the library is.
Yeah.
Up to 994. That's not that far of a distance.
Oh my god.
$300.
That is so bad.
No.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, to this day though, and it probably wasn't for you, Nick, but the funniest moment in 994.
Don't.
Me and fucking Almir are sitting in the car
Don't.
getting ready to go
Don't.
to campus.
Don't.
God, that was
Please.
so-
Please don't bring that up. Please.
It's all love now, bro.
Oh yeah.
Should we tell the whole thing?
Oh yeah. So we getting ready to go on campus, me and Almir, right? And then
I don't even want to
Clarissa's
hear
gonna meet up
this.
with Nick, pick him up, and bring him back. So yeah, me and Almir hop in Nick's car. Clarissa drives us. We're literally coming out of the driveway
Where the gate is.
where the gate is.
The gate was like paint, like
Yeah.
it was like yellow paint.
So she hits that turn, she's going, everything's good. And then next thing I know, I just see the side mirror just crack. And another one of those moments, me and Almir looking at each other and we're trying so hard not to laugh.
I don't think I've ever been so scared.
No,
in my
because
life.
that's the thing that kept us from laughing, because we're like, yo, we feel so bad for her, but this is the
He was
funniest
taking a final or some shit.
That
He
the
was
worst thing.
taking a
I come
final.
out of my final, it kicked my fucking ass, and I knew I fucking failed that final. And I come out, and at that point, I'm just so dejected.
Oh my
I'm just like,
God,
I just want to
bro.
get home and drink. And then I pull up, and Clarissa's like, don't be mad at me. And she tells me a story. And at that point, it's one of those when you're already so dejected, you're just like...
No, you had known already, and when you
just started laughing
you went
because
straight
Ronnie
to
felt like
your
it,
car. But you know what? That's when I knew that you were a really great guy, because you did not get angry with me.
I was already so down and out.
Like,
I was
you were-
Life is already shitty enough.
I'm like, let's
No,
just
but
get
it's like
home.
he easily could have, yelled
Spazzed
at
out,
me.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
like given the fact that he just came back from a final.
I ain't
that
gonna lie,
kicked
he
his
was
ass.
mad calm when he pulled up. I will give him that.
Yeah,
He was
and
mad
so
calm.
it's just like to be able to handle that situation without yelling at me.
But
like,
to be honest, Carissa, like I feel it. Why you probably react the way you did. I didn't think that he was gonna be as mad on the situation, because it ain't like you fucked
Yeah.
up the whole car.
No, it was just
Right.
the
It was
mirror
literally
at the
just the
end of
mirror.
day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But it was-
But from your situation, it's just
no,
like
because get this. So when you got in the car, I was like, oh my gosh, my first passengers. Like I'm so
that
excited
was-
to take you guys. And then
damn. Okay, I hella
Yeah.
forgot about that aspect.
And I was like, oh fuck. And then so
how long before that did you start driving?
I didn't even have my permit.
Yeah, because she didn't.
No,
have
but
a
I
permit.
know you was practicing with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
probably
A
like
month
a
or so?
month.
Damn,
Yeah.
okay.
She would drive me all the time, and like she'd back out of it.
And I
be
would,
fine
you know,
and
yeah,
everything.
like it was fine. I would drive,
Might have just been
perfectly.
having new people in for.
I know. I was like, oh my god. My first passengers,
Another
like,
funny
we were-
Clarissa
yeah.
driving story. So this is
Stop.
when
Wait,
Clarissa.
Welcome to the Clarissa Crashes podcast.
Okay,
This
since
is when-
I just want to say, since then I've had
She's
a
a good
great
driver.
driving
She's a
Had a
record.
great driving record.
But this story's funny. So I'm going.
We're
going
driving
out-
back to San Jose, so
We're going out to Hayward because I have to take my credential
Oh,
program interview.
shit.
So I'm all dressed up and we're about to head out to Hayward from San Jose from 994 to take my credential interview. So I'm already kind of nervous and I'm like, okay, you can drive me there. Because she was still, I think at this point she had her permit. She was practicing for
Yeah.
her driver's test. And she's like, okay.
so he wanted me to drive on the.
on the freeway.
Freeway.
So we're pulling up and we take that right onto the on-ramp and there's those big potholes, coming from 994.
Yeah.
There's those big
Yeah.
potholes. And she goes right over a fucking pothole. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't sound too bad, whatever. Halfway getting there, I'm dressed up in my polo, my fucking, nice, looking good for an interview. I hear the car, do. I'm like, oh my god.
And we were
have
on
a
the
fucking-
left side of the
We have a
freeway.
fucking flat tire. And I'm like, pull over.
So I pulled
So we get
over.
out there. Luckily, I have a pair of fucking shorts and everything. I had to change out of my interview clothes, put on my shorts, put on a bullshit t-shirt so I can go under the car, jack it up,
And
change my
change the
tire.
tire.
And luckily, we left hella early, so I wasn't late. But I remember just changing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm supposed to go to an interview.
Again.
And I'll be all sweaty going back in my other fucking clothes. Like, this is so bad. But in Clarissa's defense, when we got to San Jose, she bought me a new tire. We put it on,
did.
and we came back.
But again, he didn't get mad at me.
Yeah.
He is an amazing boyfriend.
If you
That-
don't stay calm, shit just gets worse.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
If shit's
Which,
that bad, getting that mad doesn't
It
solve
doesn't help. It
anything.
just makes everything
but
worse.
we've had our fair share of car breakdowns,
We
throughout
or
our
you?
relationship.
Really?
All both of us.
Well, yeah, both of
Fuck
us.
you.
We went out to Tahoe one time, and my dad just fixed my coolant tube, and he told us, he's like, I don't know if you should go there, blah blah. I'm like,
We were like, we'll be
my
fine.
car's fixed,
We'll
I
be
should
okay.
be good. And I was right at the end. I'm like, my car's fixed, we should be good.
Yeah.
The only thing is, when my dad put in my coolant tube, there's your belt that goes around your car that gets like your car
around
going.
the accelerator.
He put it too close, so the belt was rubbing against the tube. So halfway up to Tahoe, my coolant starts leaking because the belt was rubbing against the tube, and it put a hole in it. And I literally had to call my dad, and it was the worst feeling because my dad was telling me, you probably shouldn't drive. And I was like, dude, we just fixed it.
We should have listened to Jeff. We should have listened to Jeff.
Dixon, like an hour from SF. I'm like, Dad, you need to come pick us up. And like, to be fair, obviously it was his fault that it fucking went down. It wasn't like the car broke down. It was his fault because he installed it wrong. But he still picked us up. He did. He came out there and picked us up.
Bro, it's just that moment of he told you not to drive. Yeah. Now you calling him a hey.
But it's so awkward. So I'm like, you were right. At the same time,
you were wrong.
It was your fault.
You fucked it up. So
you were right. Everything you said was gonna happen. Can you help me?
But you know what? That Mustang though, like when it finally just was on its last leg.
We got so lucky that when that thing broke down, we had AAA, so you get a 50-mile radius of being towed.
Yeah.
We drove it down to Slow for our anniversary.
Our anniversary. It's like our
and
third.
And we were coming back
second.
up, and luckily we were in like past Gil, we were like 10 miles away from being back at home. And it breaks down 10 miles away. And it was just a blessing because like this thing could have broke down
it was like clicking
anywhere
too.
around
5 hours.
Yeah, right. And luckily it was in the range of AAA where it didn't cost me anything to tow it back home. And I was like, and that was the end of the Mustang. I was like, at least it ended like that. It didn't end.
I was sad though.
Slow.
Like that Mustang was like the
that
reason
Mustang
why
was a
we were
staple.
able to
that
see
was,
each other.
bro.
Do you guys
so
remember the
often.
knife slash in my Mustang when that guy came in our backyard? You guys know how lucky I was that night?
Because you didn't keep any of your tips.
I came back from serving,
Damn.
and I had like 2 days of service, so I had like $300 in cash in my middle console.
And you had your check too, huh?
Yeah,
you took it out, but like...
Yeah, the check is... I mean, he can only do so much with the check.
It
would have been a bitch to go through the process again, but I had $300 in tips. This dude, for some reason, knifes the back of my... Because it's a convertible. He knifes the back of the convertible where you can't even access anything. And then someone must have came outside or something, because I'm like, if you went that far, you would just do it again.
All you literally had to put was your hand, because I remember we were sitting there, you had to put your hand.
But he did it in the wrong part. There was the window, and then he did it where it's like near my trunk where you can't get into anything. All you had to do was knife the next section next to it, and then unlock the car. But someone must have come outside or something, because he didn't do it. And I was just like, bro. And I honestly, I never left my tips because it's fucking San Jose. I'm not gonna leave my. That was like one night I came home and I was just like, fuck it, like I rush in. You're just getting home from work, and I got so lucky that night. There was so much money in there, but that was our backyard. Just anyone
can come and go.
Bro, hella random. But do y'all remember, were you there that day? Because I know you and me was when the fucking the electric lines just fell on our front yard.
Yeah, I remember that.
Big ass truck just came and pulled all the wires from 7th Street.
Bro,
it's all landing in our front yard.
How have we not gotten into the craziest story of when we threw our very, very, very first party at Sunset Hall and y'all niggas got your shit robbed?
Oh yeah!
Still to this day, I have no idea if it was
the only time in my life I've ever been
funny
caught
feeling
flipping.
it was our neighbors.
I think it was too.
Who shall remain unnamed.
What's so crazy is they came into our room and obviously we were both hammered and passed. I cannot believe we didn't hear any of it.
Bro, even outside of that, like we ain't gonna say his name, but the homie that was sitting on the couch, it's just like, damn, bro, like the fact, bro.
Really?
We had a homie sitting on the couch, but he was passed the fuck out. Everybody was fucked up from that day.
To give some context to the people still watching, so we threw our first party at our very first apartment, an apartment complex, and us being like 19-year-old dumbasses, we left the shit unlocked and we left
our window.
The sliding door
unlocked. Everybody was drunk and passed out. We wake up the next morning. All the electronics we left like out on the living room are gone. Like him and Ronnie's laptops are gone. The chargers are gone, and a whole bunch of other shit.
PlayStation controllers
They came into our room. Literally, they opened our door, came to our room, and took it.
But the wild thing is too, bro,
That's
is like
scary.
if you remember where our beds were and where our tables were, our desks were literally right next to that door.
Yeah.
I think you guys were the only ones that slept that night with your like door swung wide open. And that might have been why.
I don't know if we did. I don't know if we did.
Because if you remember the room I think you guys had the biggest room.
We had the first
we had the very first one in the hallway.
Room, yeah.
At the
first
right.
one.
Yeah.
That shit made me so mad, dude. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Only time in my life I've been caught slipping.
Do you remember that one time at 994, Ronnie? I'm pretty sure me and you were the only ones home. When that random dude came and door checked us, he knocked on our door and we opened it up and we were like, "What's up?" And he was just like, never mind. He walked away. And we were looking at each other like,
what if nobody
answered? Fucking door checked. Like this dude was literally checking to see if we're home because he knocked on the door. We opened up and obviously the sliding door was still there. Yeah. And we're like, "What's up, bro?" And this dude's like our age, like 20, 21. And he's just like, "Oh, never mind." And he walks away. And me and Ryan were like, "Bro, that's fucking sketch." This dude just literally knocks on our door.
What if he just...
What if he what?
That's called door
knocked
checking.
on the wrong
That's
door
literally door checking.
and
You
saw you
knock.
guys and didn't know you.
That's hard.
No.
You
Yeah.
could say, hey, I thought my homie lived here.
Because
my
bro,
bad.
you gotta think how many people before us had but even before us had lived at that same place.
Yeah.
That place was known as a function house before we even moved
Yeah,
in.
it's
Exactly.
pretty distinguishable.
And I'm talking about like maybe
Yeah.
10, 15, 20 years for however the
Right?
fuck long Agnes and fucking Anthony had that place. You know what I mean?
Anthony.
I was so mad when that happened. I'm like, this dude literally just door checked us. Like, oh my god. Especially after our last incident, our other one, we're locking everything up every fucking night.
We had a lot of
Hella foot traffic.
motherfuckers that were trying to like test.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
It was just hard to control everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, we
that
had
one
that-
time at the Halloween party you guys had, someone tried to fight you in the
Bro,
hallway.
so
Like, why would you want to fight him?
that dude was an idiot. He was fucking
Oh, he spat in your closet.
Yeah, he spat
Oh,
in
that
our
was the
closet,
motherfucker that was
Oh,
trying
and
to
then
go
we
use the
tossed
bathroom,
his
right?
ass
Yeah.
Yeah.
I checked him. And
Yo, wasn't that when Ali
Next
and
thing I know,
fucking
it's 5
Nevin?
niggas shoving him out the fucking door.
yeah.
Hey, shout out to
I-
Ali and shout out
and
to
Nevin.
Nevin, bro.
He ate shit like 3 times on his way out
Oh
the door.
yeah,
Fuck
dude,
out of here.
Nevin, I love Nevin. He came up and I didn't know Nevin was even in there, but I came up. Oh no, I talked to him because I pressed his camera. Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like sitting there. I'm like, fuck this. And I walk out looking for people. I see Nevin. I'm like, bro, this dude just spit in our fucking closet. And Nevin's like, who? I'm like, Nevin literally.
He got
runs
fucking
up-
tossed out like Jazz
Literally,
from the Fresh Prince.
Nevin and Ollie
Literally,
just
bro.
run up to that kid, throw him out, say, get the fuck out of here, blah, blah. Another funny story where Nevin's ass saved me. Remember
We had to stop
Lola?
Nevin from swinging on that
Remember Nevin's friend Lola or
Lalo.
Lalo.
Yeah.
Shoot. So I was doing fucking door management in the front or whatever, door checking in the front, and these 2 dudes jump our fucking gate. And I'm
Oh,
walking up to them.
yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? Like, we'll let you in, blah blah blah. And they go up to these 2 fucking big dudes. They do not. You can tell they just came off the street. And they're like, the fuck are you gonna do about it? I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. I'm starting to backstep. Also, Lola comes out of nowhere and he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing here, bro? Like, you guys really trying to step through my homie, blah, blah, blah? And like, out of nowhere, this dude comes in, they back off, I turn, I'm like, bruh, I was literally about to get jumped right now.
Yeah.
Thank you so fucking
That
much.
dude was big as fuck.
So, yeah. And Lola literally, every time I saw Lola, I would always tell him, like, bro, I fucking love you. You saved my ass.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. Memories, bro.
You guys had weird. Well,
The
great,
homies always
yeah.
got the back, man. Every
You had
time.
a lot of people coming into your parties though, like adults. Like
No, we had a bunch of
actual
sketchy
adults.
motherfuckers.
Made a
We were
lot of
like-
money.
we were
Made a
deep
lot
in
of
San
money at
Jose.
the doors, though.
Bruh,
Made a lot
facts.
of money.
I ain't gonna lie, like I would, cause the first couple functions we threw, like especially at that house, it was really just about fucking. We got a house, let's turn up, let's kick it.
Yeah.
It wasn't
And we wanted
until
people to come in,
you
'cause
feel me.
we-
It
yeah.
wasn't until the second year that I was like, let me
gotta
try to
make
make some
money.
money out of this
Yeah.
shit. And it ain't even, bro.
Trying
To
to
keep it
finesse.
funniest shit was like I remember like one of the functions. It was like. Go out to the fucking shit. I just want to go kick it at the door. I'm making anybody pay while I'm up here.
I'll make an easy 80.
Cool, let me just make my money. All right, anybody else can come in now. I'm walking past the people I just made pay. Like,
So
hey,
funny.
man, I just needed some bread.
Oh my gosh.
But
God, I remember
anyway.
the scariest time was when remember that someone was like, bro, someone fucking had a gun out there in the backyard, blah blah, and we were fucking tripping.
Bro, no, do you remember? Because it was, Lala was there with me too. This was up in
I
the
think that was
front.
that same night actually.
Bruh,
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
I'm over here, like, me and Lalo getting into it with some a random group of 2 dudes, you know what I mean? Or maybe it was like a group of like 3 or 4 of these like Mexican fools. They all from San Jose too, you know what I mean? Next thing I know, bro pulled out a gun on me and all that shit, you know what I mean? Lalo's sitting over there having my back the whole time. I'm sitting there like, damn, bro, this shit a trip. Now looking back at it, you know, at the moment you drunk, man, fuck that, you ain't finna use it. Now looking back, I'm like, yo,
Yeah, gun pull.
Oh my gosh.
that shit crazy.
San
But it is
Jose,
what it
man.
is.
But hey, we had a lot of memories, bro. Roommate Chronicles, that shit will continue.
It will, man.
We should definitely have you guys back on, man. Because
definitely.
I really
Shit,
feel like we
we
haven't
will.
scratched the surface into the amount of stories we have to tell.
a lot more
bro.
stories we can uncover here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nah, man, we appreciate y'all for coming though, for real. Like,
definitely.
Of
you know what I mean?
course. Thanks for
Definitely.
having us.
I was,
This is so
especially you.
fun.
I know it's been like this is your first time on a pod. I know we
Oh
had
my
you on a
gosh,
couple
no, this is
before,
great.
but
I
it's cool to
loved
have the
it.
couples together too. You know what I mean? But for sure, man,
We gonna take us home, man, for another episode of the 2 Coin Podcast. We signing out. I'm your boy Waleed,
it's your boy Ronnie.
and we out.
Peace.
Bye.